Hey, yo, what's shaking, YouTuberites? Welcome to the weekly Shaker Report, the show where we go through some of those books that sold in the aftermarket. Now, those books that shook, well, we're going to shake it together because we're going to get somebody on the ones and twos. So pour yourself a nice cold one. Kick back, relax, because tonight we got Chris, we got Marty. Let's see who we got on the ones and twos.
Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started. Nothing can stop that now.
Yeah. We are so back, guys. So back. I'm excited. The boys are back tonight, so we're gonna bring it. Doing
The
guys
boys are back in town. I said
Yeah.
the boys are back in town.
That's pretty much the vibe. Pretty much the vibe. Chris, I saw you backstage again with the yo-yo. Your pregame warm-up, man. That needs to be shown, dude. That was amazing. But
It's a good thing you didn't see me, Lando, because you don't want to see what I'm doing backstage, brother.
yeah. Well, I was focused. I was distracted. Chris was killing
Marty,
me.
that's a different kind of yo-yo act, okay?
My guy. But I want to shout out the chat. Thank you if you're watching live for your patience, because yes, my computer decided to do a reboot right before going live, and it took forever.
Yeah.
We're here, we made it, and we have an amazing list. So let's go around the horn before we get into the list, and we're gonna kick it off with Chris. What's up?
Hey, I feel blessed because this week I got to do not just one show, but two shows. And oh man, to talk about just making my week. And this is a week. I know I've been saying this like every single show for this entire year, but damn it, I need this show. Woo!
Hey, Chris, we need you too, brother. Okay, if it goes both ways.
Happy to be here, get my mind off of work, ignoring all the signals that are going on in the media, and just happy to be here.
Dude, speaking media, I think everybody saw how crazy it got. Marvel dropped it was 8 hours worth of just chairs being placed of the casting for Doomsday. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of those books, maybe people speculating based on Doomsday make the list tonight, but maybe on the top 10, guys. We'll keep an eye out for that. But thank you, Chris, for obviously filling in. And I was unable to make it, was not feeling 100%. But you definitely held it down. And speaking of holding it down, the OG holding it down for God knows how long, man. Marty's in the house. What's up, bro?
I'm in the house. I've always been in the house and will always be in the house. So greetings and salutation, geeks and geekettes, and thank you for joining us. If you're live or on the rewind, we've got a shaker show for you tonight. This list, okay, half of these books on this list, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea about. Okay. So I'm going to learn along with everybody else who doesn't as well. So I'm going to learn some stuff tonight, as I always do in every show. I actually learn from the audience. I learn from you guys. So this is very, very interesting. I'm excited to see this list. Shout out, first of all, to Marky. He joined us on Tuesday show from the New York Warriors. Shout out to them as well. If you didn't catch Tuesday show, one of the original OGs of the shows was on, so catch that show. give him a shout out. Go give him some love as well. It was amazing. What a heck of a week, you know. A lot's been going on, but we're here. We're going to be talking about comic books tonight. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to get away from the outside world out there. And thank you for joining us, guys, out there in the chat. We hope you guys stay with us all the way into the end. After the read, we're going to check out some shakers. We're going to see what's shaking on the list and be interactive with us. You know, talk to us on the chat. Be active on the chat. I love reading you guys' comments.
Hell
So
yeah,
back to
man.
you.
You guys killed it on Tuesday. Like I said, you did amazing. So thank you all for, being there, doing what you were doing. Now, of course, we got to kick off the Shakers. And boy, let me tell you, it is a very impressive one. So shall we dive right into it? Guys, this list comes from our friends over at CovrPrice, focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily shaker list. The list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it every single day to review some of the hottest trending books in the market. To kick it off, Chris, what do we got for shaker number 1?
Shaker number 1, we have Bartman at number 3, and this is the barcode variant by Bongo Comics in 1994. The barcode variants of Bongo's early Simpsons comics are among the most elusive collector's items from the 90s. These editions feature a partial image of Bart Simpson incorporated into where the barcode would usually be found. The original barcode lineup included Radioactive Man number 1, Bartman number 1, Itchy and Scratchy Comics number 1, and Simpsons Comics number 1. But later issues like Bartman number 3 also received this rare treatment. Despite their low profile, these variants have gained a cult following among Simpsons collectors. A raw, near mint copy of Bartman number 3, the barcode variant, just sold for $650.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Damn!
Yeah.
Yeah, marking an all-time new high sale and the only recorded sale of this variant so far. The rarity of barcode editions continues to be evident, as similar issues have not only been setting records, but are just so hard to find. Just a day before this sale, another raw copy of Simpsons Comics number 3 barcode variant hit $450, also reaching a new peak. Previous sales for other barcode editions have been sporadic, reinforcing their scarcity in the market. With so few copies surfacing and collectors now recognizing their value, barcode variants are proving to be sleeper hits. Their unique design, combined with a growing demand for Simpsons memorabilia, suggests further price jumps ahead. If you ever come across one, don't have a cow, man. Just don't hesitate. Opportunities to own these hidden gems are rare.
This is crazy. I have so much to say about this. Marty, what are your thoughts?
Man, first of all, Bart, the Simpsons, they're going to go down in history, right, as one of the best sort of animations that are out there. I mean, I can see why something like this can make it up to $650, because there are some big fans out there and nostalgia sells. This was, a lot of people enjoyed this type of animation and the characters and the interactions and everything like that. So, I can see that. So this is interesting. Me personally, I wasn't really big into The Simpsons. I was more of a Family Guy sort of comedy. That was more up my alley. I really love that type of raunchy comedy, kind of towing the line kind of a thing. But once again, Simpsons are always go down in history, man. I mean, that's just something that I think we'll always have around, is everybody know who the Simpsons is. It doesn't matter what generation you come from. So yeah. Here's a trivia question. What was Bart Simpson's or family dog's name?
Santa's Little Helper.
Yep.
There you go. Ooh, you got it quick, brother. You got it quick.
So I know that we played the Dam, right? But this is a cowabunga. meme because
Yeah.
$650. Holy cow! Holy cowabunga! Right? Yeah. This is some good stuff here. Simpsons. It's a legacy. It's history. It's going to be future Americana. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And if you can get any barcode edition for any of the Simpsons comics, get it.
Yeah. Again, I know some of you might be surprised by this simply because these Bartman comics, a lot of these Bart comics, Simpsons comics, you can find in bins at CovrPrice or maybe even cheaper. But the barcode is really what carries this and takes this to a whole other level because they're hard to find. And you see, a partial Bart Simpson's head there at the bottom left, where the barcode is. And there's other comics that exist as well that have, the rest of Bart. So you can try to collect them all and piece that together, but it's going to be difficult. They're very scarce. There's Bartman 3. I think there was, I remember talking about the Simpsons comics #1 a while ago, and that gives you another piece as well. So that is really what's carrying this one here. Very interesting. We got Bartman issue #3, the barcode variant by Bongo back in 1994. Had a top sale for a run near mint $650. Marty, take it away with #2.
Yeah, I love this cover, man. #2 shaker is Creepy #7. This is published by Warren in 1965. Now, Warren, best known for being the company behind Vampirella, published the first issue of magazine Creepy in 1964. Many of these horror and science fiction magazines from the 60s through the 80s have experienced an increase in sales recently as more fans and collectors have become aware of the incredible work of many legendary artists who worked on these titles. Frazetta had tons of standout covers for both Creepy and Vampirella series, all of which have become more and more collectible over time. Recently, we covered Creepy #6, which featured a stunning cover by legendary artist Frank Frazetta, who is also the cover artist for issue #7. This issue set a new high this past week with a graded CGC 9.6 copy, which sold for $663. These magazines from this time were usually difficult to find above a fine condition, thus making the higher graded copies much more expensive. And, I think I've talked about these Warren published magazines like Creepy, Eerie, Vampirella, and many, many, many different shows. And not only do you see like wonderful, great artists like Frank Frazetta himself, but other great like Boris Vallejo, his daughter, so many. Olivia, that's another great artist I've known. Jusco actually had many great covers too on the '80s edition of a lot of Savage Sword of Conan magazines, even Creepy and Eerie. But nevertheless, yeah, I love this type of artwork. I'm big fan of this. And Chris, I think I've talked to you about of this to many times with you. Actually, actually expressed an interest in buying some Vampirella comic books from you too, because my understanding you actually had quite an extensive collection, man.
Yeah, it's wild. I was approached by somebody in a storage locker group that I'm a member of, and they had a big stack of Vampirella comics, and they wanted $700, and it included the first 25 straight.
Jesus.
So
Jeez,
I said, are you sure that's all you want? He's like, yep. I'm like, okay. So I paid it. And they weren't in great condition. They were all 5s and 6s and maybe a 7 here or there, but you can't beat that. I listed them all. I've sold about half of them. I've more than quadrupled my money.
Amazing.
He was happy. I'm happy. It's good stuff. These old comic magazines, right? They're so hard to find in good condition. They are. Even if you were to get them just like right off the shelf in 1965, they're going to be beat. Little grubby hands trying to grab for them and stuff like that. So these are These are classic covers, and you have Wolfman fighting Dracula with some amazing art. What's not
I
to like?
love this cover. Yeah. Oh my God, it's such a beautiful cover, man. It's kind of it kind of makes you look and just get into the real goth of it too. Such a gothic look, the very uh, just what you would imagine those two would go at it as, just that darkness to it.
Yeah. You guys mentioned Marty, I believe it was you who was talking about his daughter Sarah, and I think she does great work as well. It's in their blood because she's wonderful, does great work. You can't go wrong, man. Frazetta
Yeah,
is
yeah,
just a legend in my opinion, and Sarah, she's beautiful, and so is the art that the whole family
yeah,
carries forward.
absolutely.
So yeah,
They have very good genes, obviously, and they have a lot of talent in those genes, and they're very active too. At Comic Cons, and and very involved in keeping their father's legacy around, their grandfather's legacy around as well. And a lot of things they do, and especially with some of the movies, some of the artwork, a lot of the foundations that are associated with him. So their family's still very, very, very much involved in a lot of things as well. So kudos to them, for them to kind of keep that going on, because Frank Frazetta's his artwork is stands the test of time. It's going to be around forever.
oh yeah, can't help but agree. But guys, Creepy number 7 by Warren, 1965, had a top sale for a CGC 96 at $663. Guys, we're only 2 books in, and I don't see anybody on the board yet. So maybe this one gives us a chance, or otherwise into the Opher Abyss we go all together. Chris, save us.
All right. For shaker number 3, we have Invincible, number 144. Every time I say the word Invincible, I just want the logo to splash up on the screen. that's all I want. Audio to cut out, logo to splash on the screen. We've been watching this book for several years, and we are more and more interested as the Amazon animated Invincible series has picked up steam. Invincible is more mainstream than ever, and with that comes more eyes on every key book. Take this one, the final issue, a homage to the first issue, and the first appearance of Tara Grayson, which is Invincible's daughter, as Invincible front and center. It is a similar print run to issue number 1, which was low by industry standards and has a ton going on for it. It has become more desirable, as when we highlighted it previously, it was roughly going for about $35 to $50 raw. With the added attention to the title, thanks to the very successful Amazon show, that average has shot up to around $100 to $135. A new all-time high was recently established when a near mint and a near mint plus raw copy, selling just a few days apart, for $135 and $200 respectively. That is outpacing graded copies, with the most recent sale of a 9.8 topping out at $170 just this last February. Part of that may be the pool that collectors have to choose from, as there are a whopping 200 copies at a 9.8 grade on the census alone. With the increased rate and high grades hitting the aftermarket, some collectors may be holding out in the hope of securing the coveted 9.9 or, maybe even a 10 grade. Still, it's all good for the series, as casual fans have been taking heed on the comic nerds on this show. Thanks for the shout out, Ryder, and tuning into this run. Wow, that took me a surprise. Thanks for the shout out. We have been talking about Invincible. We've been talking about picking up the keys. We've been talking about looking at Robert Kirkman's other properties and just grabbing them, because you know that they're going to get they're going to get pulled and contracted for some sort of web show or movie or something like that. These books are going to continue rising in value. I know that some people are saying, in a couple of years, Invincible is going to be Invincible and whatever. I don't think so. I think that they have a lot of spin-offs that they could do. I mean, you want to read the tea leaves? Why don't you go look at, the first couple key issues of Saga?
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I agree with you on that one, Chris, is because just for the main purposes that you can do so many spin-offs on this universe. Because it leaves a lot for that. Now I'm only a beginner, a very much novice into the Invincible universe, but I'm liking what I'm seeing in season 1, and so I definitely see the Invincible trend staying steady. However, C. Chavez in the chat made a good comment that it seems like every issue of Invincible seems to be a key. And granted, yeah, it does seem like that. And there's going to be a point as well, I think, where the books get so hyped and everything seems to be a wanted book, or everything's a key book, everything is a necessary book to get for collectors, that it's going to be oversaturated. That eventually it's going to be narrowed down to just a few. You know what I mean? Because every book that you see that seems to have something that's added to it for whatever reason, that it's being a key or whatever, it's just going to eventually kind of topple out. I don't think Invincible is going anywhere. I just think the comic books of what we're seeing now, the steady buy of multiple different types of Invincible comic books, is going to die down. But I don't see the Invincible series dying down.
Yeah, no. You just finished saying, Chris, how like this pretty much print wise is very similar to the first issue. And one thing I want to point out is that we're getting the first appearance of Tara Grayson. And it's the final issue, and I love how they paid homage to the first cover on issue 1. So it's neat on the comic side alone, right? Forget all spec stuff. I just think it's awesome. Now 144 issues. Invincible is a very scarce series, and I want to shout out Three Rivers for saying the same thing, because it's very low print. When you factor how many copies were printed in between these 144, it's nothing crazy. Robert Kirkman is just incredible. He did a phenomenal job with Invincible, but I do encourage you all to pay attention to some of his other titles. I saw Michael Baker in the chat, who I know is a big fan of Void Rivals. It's one of the best things happening right now in comics, especially if you're a Transformers G.I. Joe fan. No surprise to see love for Invincibles, because guys, Invincible 144 Corey Walker variant by Image in 2018 had a top sale for a raw near mint plus at $200. Marty, you're taking me back with Shaker number 4.
Yeah, this goes way back, and I like this, because it brings back a little nostalgia. And number 4, Shaker, brings you the Iron Giant preview. This is published by Warner Brothers in 1999. When the Iron Giant celebrated its 25th anniversary last summer, fans flooded the internet with posts recalling the seminal movie. If you've ever seen the film, the director Brad Bird succinctly summoned it up when he first pitched it to Warner Brothers. What if a gun had a soul and it didn't want to be a gun? Based on Ted Hughes' Cold War fable, The Iron Man. The Iron Giant became a cult favorite after initially flopping at the box office. Interestingly enough, Vin Diesel, who currently plays Groot in the MCU, provided the voice for a giant alien robot that crash lands near the small town of Rockwell, Maine in 1957. Published a few weeks before the movie debuted, the Iron Giant preview comic book is one of the few items that was produced for the movie. The 6-page book includes a movie poster, inspired cover, and several pages of scenes taken directly from the film. In raw form, this book has been selling at an average of $30 for the past few years, but graded copies have been slowly rising. In February, a 9.8 graded copy of this preview sold for $100, which makes the most recent sales so interesting. Just this week, a 9.9 graded copy sold for $500. So interesting, an interesting aspect. I mean, for for this just to kind of sell, and we're seeing an older Iron Giant preview book, so I don't know. I enjoyed the Iron Giant. I saw there was a cult following to it as well, but I just didn't see the big thrill to it, though, in my personal opinion. But that's me.
I think it was just I don't think you were the target demographic, Marty.
Yeah.
When this came out, I instantly fell in love with the Iron Giant. I loved every little bit about it, and it's iconic. It's I know that we've been talking about staples of Americana. Iron Giant is one of those by far. I did no idea that this little 6-page comic, which also included a movie poster, was this valuable. $500 for a 9.9. That's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, regarding the census on it, 199 out there, guys, and there's only 110 that exists.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
very rare.
Yeah, it's super rare. But Chris, you nailed it, man. It's guys, I was 10 years old when this came out, and it was clearly it was something that I
dude. I was in the military, stationed in Fort Stewart, Georgia, at around this time, dude. I kid you not.
The only thing I was fighting with at that time was my kid brother. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, man, this takes me back. Iron Giant, as Chris said, man, it's just one of those iconic movies, and I remember it from when I was a child, and I will always appreciate seeing this book get the love it's gotten, because this is a very impressive sale, guys. The Iron Giant preview by Warner Bros. 1999 had a top sale for a CGC 9.9 at $500. Now we're going to take a little pause because, Chris, what do you got to tell us?
Well, I mean, we're in the middle of the stream, so I got to tell you to all go like, share, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and really do your part as the audience. But I thought I would also take a moment here to kind of plug our love for the CovrPrice folks. You guys can see on the screen there. Lando's going to put the link in the chat. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you use the code LaunchParty15, you'll get 15% off your order. Look at these awesome covers, awesome colors that the CovrPrice logo shirts in. You get it in a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different sizes, all that jazz, or hoodies, hats, sweaters, and all the good stuff. I mean, this right here, this fitted cap right here, I'm probably going to get one of these because it looks like it's really good quality. The snapback kind of sits like weird on my giant head. It kind of cones up a little bit, but the fitted ones I should be able to do pretty good. And
I like the logos on there. It's really nice how they did those. So it's great. Yeah.
And small and extra large, so big old noggins like me, you guys can get a hat. No, might get myself a hoodie. I mean, come on, this is good stuff. You guys love this show, you guys like the website. Why don't you rep the merch? And if you're going to do that, use that Launch Party 15 for 15% off your first order.
That's awesome. 15%, man. That's not too bad, huh?
Chris is totally going for the pink sweater. I think it's gonna look beautiful on it. There you go.
It brings out my eyes.
It really does. It really does. But guys, you saw the discount codes in the chat, so make sure to use it. Now we're gonna take off with shaker number 5. Chris, what do we got?
Shaker number 5, we have Judge, the November 23rd, 1930 edition. If you're a fan of Dr. Seuss, you probably know him best for his rhyme-tastic children's books. But long before How the Grinch Stole Christmas or The Lorax, Theodore Seuss Geisel got his start in the cartooning world through a humor magazine called Judge. In fact, the first time he ever signed any of his work as Dr. Seuss was during his tenure as a Judge magazine contributor. Today we are talking about the November 23rd, 1930 issue of Judge, which featured one of his earliest published cartoons alongside the work of other legends like Karl Barks and Charles Forbel. He contributed somewhere to over 30 illustrations and cartoons during his time at Judge. So in theory, there's a pretty good amount of them. But given that these were all published in the 20s and 30s, good luck finding them out in the market. That is not going to be very easy. Having said this, a recent sale of a gradeless raw copy of the November 1930 issue sold for $240, making waves despite being lower than one would expect for a book that is almost 100 years old and has this kind of historical relevance. If hearing any of this has struck a chord with you, now might be the time to go pick up some of the early Seuss cartoon creations, because it feels like a book with these characteristics should be worth a whole lot more.
Yep.
I will not buy it on the bay. I will not buy it on the hay.
I will not buy it, I say. So okay, 1930. What is a gradeless copy?
Raw. It just means raw.
Okay. There's no grades. There's no, raw. There's just raw copies out there. But I'm curious to know how close to a fine or a very good it might be.
Yeah.
Or something from a 1930, man. I wish they had a little bit more information on the grade on this, man, because to see a book that's from 1930, man, this is some time travel shit here, brother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this goes all the way back, man. If you have this out in the chat or on the rewind, I want proof of life, brother. Tag me in this bad boy.
Well, Chris, I'm going to give you some of my Scott Steiner math, because in about 5 years from now, that's a book that is 100 years old. All right. So it's pretty impressive. Raw, no matter what condition, selling at $240. I think that's pretty low. And when you factor that this book is almost 100 years old, like that's 1 century, guys. $240. There's a lot of history behind it.
There's a lot of history. It's a low price for what you would think, but really, I mean, there are a lot of other books that are out there that are besides comic books, that value at less than maybe $100 or so. I mean, you see some of this stuff in like these different shows, like about what is it, antique road shows and all that stuff, right? I mean, and a lot of I can see this going for that right now. But once the hype comes up, then this is when you're going to see a boost in a lot of these prices, especially from comic book collectors. But you're talking about, Dr. Seuss, who's more than just comic books. This goes beyond that. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's a household name to everybody. Children, families that span from generations to know who Dr. Seuss is, So, yeah. There you go.
You can get, I'm on eBay right now. You can get a lot of 1920s and 30s era Judge magazines for less than $30.
Crazy.
And some of them will look like Dr. Seuss works. Like there's one here that's a football cover, and I'm going to go ahead and pick it up for $8 because it's a crazy deal.
You do that.
Looks like Dr. Seuss to me. So I don't know. I really like old magazines. I really like old books.
Oh yeah.
And this is like right up my alley.
I love how you're buying.
Do well.
You're buying live on the show. That's hilarious, man.
Last time I didn't. Somebody in the chat bought it out from underneath me. I got to do it now.
You did.
But you know what? This is what's interesting too, is that you know, just as much as you guys learn, I learned too, man. And just like you just learned about this book and just purchased something. I mean, of course, if you're going to decide that if you're going to speculate on something like that. I mean, this is a good show to know about things because it gives you the value, it gives you the sales, it gives you the market trends. I mean, so this is good information.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. But guys, if you are looking for such a book, here's the name. It's Judge, November 23rd, 1930 edition by Judge in 1930. Top sale, raw, $240. Marty, what do we got up next? Oh, baby.
It's like, yes, oh, baby. Number 6, Shaker brings you Mars Attack #1. Keith Giffen, Terry Austin, published by Topps in 1994. Not everyone realizes that the whimsical and eccentric film created by Tim Burton in 1996, which has been since garnered a devoted following as a campy cult classic, traces its origin to a distinctive trading card game introduced by Topps in 1962. The concept, inspired by EC's Weird Science in number 16, brought this engaged concept to life. Topps, a pioneer in the card industry from its inception, expanded its influence into comics in 1992 with Bram Stoker's Dracula to engage and entertain its rapidly growing fan base. Recently, we celebrated a remarkable milestone in this universe with a record high sale of $250 for a CGC 9.8 grade of Mars Attacks brought to life by the visionary artist Keith Giffen. It's interesting to note that this issue is not first appearance of the Mars Attack saga. That distinction belongs to Pocket Comics adaptation released in 1988, which paved the way for the colorful chaos that would capture the imagination of fans for generation. Oh, wow. Interesting. So a lot of history to this as well. If you like Keith Giffen, I mean, so legendary artist, but yeah, interesting. Topps comic.
Yeah, this book is, I mean, if you can find this, this is something. So maybe a year ago, I bought this big collection, had mostly horror and sci-fi books in it, and it had some of the Mars Attacks books, but not the #1, and I was really bummed out because #1 is worth a lot, and the rest of them are not so much.
Do you ever notice that when you buy these books or these stacks of books, the big ones are always gone, like the #1s, the keys,
Well, I mean, I found a lot of really good keys in that collection. I mean, first appearance of Chucky, I got like 3 of those. I got a bunch of Hellraiser books, first appearances of Pinhead.
That's some good cult classic followings right there, man.
Yeah.
So I don't think the collection I picked up was cherry picked because I definitely found a lot of really high value books in there, and made quite a bit of money. But it was just the Mars Attack. It just that #1 was missing, and they didn't make that many of them, so I'm not terribly surprised.
Did anybody watch Mars Attack?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's a great movie,
dude. Yeah, that was fun times, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember, to be honest with you. This is not a movie that stands out to me. It came out in 1994.
Marty, yeah, it was within the 90s. Do yourself a favor, please. I think it was like 96, maybe 2 years afterwards.
Yeah.
Like that. But you have to go back to watch this because it's good times. Like, it's 90. It's got 90.
I gotta check it out then.
Yeah, exactly, man. It was just great times. Yeah, it was actually 1996, and yeah, man, it was just so good. The posters, I just remember this being a part of my childhood. It's another one that reminds me tonight on the list, and it's good times. But anyways, Mars Attacks #1, cover by Keith Giffen, by the book by Topps in 1994, had a top sale for CGC 9.8 at $250. Chris, my fellow gamer, let's get into this.
Oh, this one's awesome. We got Prodigal Son, the Stephen Bliss 2022 New York Comic-Con Ashcan Whatnot variant, limited to 50, and it was recalled. Man. The Prodigal Son
Wow.
is the Western revenge comic co-created by actor Martin Cove. That's Cobra Kai, Karate Kid, Martin Cove. The story follows a 12-year-old boy who teams up with a notorious outlaw to hunt down the gang that murdered his family, forcing him to navigate the blurred lines between vengeance and justice. This comic debuted as an Ashcan edition at the New York Comic Con in 2022, featuring multiple variant covers by Stephen Bliss, the original artist for Red Dead Redemption, one of the greatest cowboy-themed video games of all time.
Yep.
Don't at me. Due to the close similarities to Rockstar's game, including artwork by the same artist, Rockstar swiftly intervened, forcing Scout Comics to halt sales at the convention. The variants included a rare lenticular cover, originally limited to 25 copies, and a mock game box edition stylized after the Xbox cases, originally limited to 250 covers. PlayStation, originally limited to 250 covers, and the standard version limited to 150. And this Whatnot version limited to 50 copies. We confirmed with Scout that due to the legal copyright issue with Rockstar, the majority of all these copies were legally obligated to be, air quotes with me, destroyed, greatly reducing the original already low print run. The exact count of remaining copies remains a mystery, but their scarcity has made them highly sought after. Following the controversy, the series was relaunched under AMP Comics with a new issue and an updated cover art by Appel Gekgel. Additionally, the project has been picked up for a television development by Jeff Frost, the former head of Sony TV, through his Bristol Circle banner, which has shined a new spotlight on the original controversy around the Scout version. This renewed attention has driven demand even higher, with recent aftermarket sales hitting all-time highs, such as the Whatnot edition reaching a raw $90 this week. It's for a raw near. If development of the TV series progresses, interest in these recalled editions will likely continue to grow.
Wild, literally, like Wild Wild West. But so it's very interesting, okay? Because you were just saying, Chris, how like there was 50 copies, then recalled, and like they were air quotes supposed to be destroyed, and then we still see some, sales. When you factor how low print that is, raw near mint $90 isn't too shabby. What I will say though, I know that some people feel a certain way about the platform, whatever it is. I don't care. That's not what I'm here to discuss. What I'm here to discuss and give credit where credit is due. I find Whatnot, like especially with these things, massive as well. Like when they do the video game homage covers, they do a great job. Like the detailing is just wonderful. I love how they even went as far as adding that GameStop sticker at the top, where you see the pre-owned. Like that is hilarious. I love it. But I gotta agree, guys. Red Dead Redemption is just one of the best video games in general. I put it up there, especially the second one. Marty, I know you're not too much of a gamer. You're probably wondering what this is. Have you
It's you guys are speaking codex to me, man. So, but keep going.
But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, man, it's basically Grand Theft Auto, but we're slinging West Side Story style. You know what I mean? Like it's just so fun. It's great times. I really love this game. It's so well done. Chris, you've played it, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm gonna sound like a heretic here. I prefer the PC version only because I can never aim correctly with a controller. It's all about keyboard and mouse for me. But this game is amazing. I enjoyed every second of the original. I love the sequel. The online is always fun to jump into and just kill a few hours going around playing poker games and whatnot. It's just good stuff. Yeah, I had no idea that this existed. Another thing that I will comment, ain't no way no pro trader is getting this for 60% off. That's just not happening.
No, absolutely not. But anyways, guys, Prodigal Son, Stephen Bliss, 2022 New York Comic Con Ashcan Whatnot variant that was limited to 50 and recalled. Thunder Comics 2022 had a top sale for a run near mint at $90. We're sticking with the video game themes. Marty, talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Regardless, I'm not a big gamer. However, this is a very beautiful cover. And number 8 Shaker brings you Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 229, Patrick Spazianti, 2011 new NYCC sketch variant, published by Archie in 2011. In 2011, Archie Comics decided to celebrate the Genesis story arc in the ongoing comic series by offering up a throwback cover art style. Each issue of the arc was released with cover art featuring an homage to a previous Sonic games and also included a red band along the left side as a nod to the Sega Genesis cover design of the 90s. The final issue of the arc was given exclusive treatment at New York Comic Con in the same year by the way of a sketch variant version of 229 by Patrick Spazianti. This week, that exclusive hit a new all-time high sale of $150, marking only the 6th raw sale of the issue and 10th sale overall. Those low overall sales numbers tell the story of a book that isn't easy to find, as it was limited to only 500 copies overall. Aside from the scarcity, it's not too hard to see why this would be highly sought after by any Sonic OR video game fan with the nostalgic Genesis case art style. Without question, if you catch this one for a good price, you should grab it while you can because it's going to go fast.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a sucker for all white covers, man. I like it, and I know some people, they say, oh, it's hard. You're going to get ticks. You're going to, all of that aside, man, if you get a really nice all white use of negative space and have that character, in front like that or in color, however you design, but I find that use very, very well done, very artistic in that.
Yep. Just to add a little detail, more information, regarding this. This is obviously the con exclusive. So you see New York Comic Con written there from 2011. But I saw somebody in the chat, I think it was C. Chavez, saying that he's not a big fan of sketch covers, and neither am I, to be honest. But this one is just stunning. It is well done. I love this. In fact, if you guys go see the regular cover, it's the exact same cover, and they, you can see where it says Sonic Genesis on the side, part 4. They have that in color, and it's pretty much like the Sega, box for the video game that we used to get, right?
I see that, yeah.
So I love that on the original. So I'm happy to opt out if I can't come across this. Getting a 229 is just honestly amazing. You got Sonic on the cover when he's gone full blown yellow and Super Saiyan is what we're gonna say.
Super Saiyan, yeah. Super Saiyan. Don't bother calling it anything else.
Yeah.
Did you watch the last movie that came out?
Oh, of course, I watched it, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even want to tell you guys. It cost me like $120 just in tickets and food to go with my wife and 2 kids, and we went 4 times, bro, just to watch this with the kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
That good, huh?
Yeah, dude, I loved it. We bought it.
I will tell you, Lando, I got to give you kudos, man. That's parenting done right, man. Parenting done right. You teach them young about the love of these things, man, and they have a lifetime adventure of all this.
I'm more than happy to spend the money to make sure that the kids enjoy this, but in reality, there's a secret reason behind that. Is I am enjoying this. This is my excuse to go and watch this over
exactly.
And over.
Yeah, exactly. At least you're honest about it.
Yeah.
Lando, how would you feel though if they didn't fix Sonic's appearance?
Oh, dude, that I'm so happy. People like us, people here in the chat, stood up and said, "What are you guys doing? This is absolutely brutal to look at. That is not Sonic." And they changed it. They changed the designs. It saved the franchise, and here we are. We're being spoiled. We got 3 movies. There's Mario movies now coming out. So I'm happy. I'm happy to see people stepped
Mm.
up for that, and they listened.
Yeah, it's a cool cover. Sonic is got a warm place in my heart. I didn't have a Nintendo until I got to my teens. I did have a Genesis though, and yeah, Sonic and Mortal Kombat and Toe Jam and Earl. those
Yeah.
those were the books. So
But
those
anyway.
were the games. I mean, those were the games.
Yeah, I feel you, Frankie. $7 a ticket on a Tuesday. It exists here as well, but I can't take the kids on a
Yeah,
Tuesday.
the only
because-
bad part, Frankie, is then you have to live in Sacramento. And,
Oh,
that's no punishment.
yeah,
I say
but anyway.
that as a California native, okay?
Yep, guys. Sonic the Hedgehog 229. Patrick Spaziante 2011.
Adiante.
Yeah, New York Comic Con sketch variant by Archie in 2011. Top sale for around near mint, $150. Chris, what do we have up next?
Now, if you're wondering if number 9 is going to get you on the list, I'm afraid not. I got some bad news for you. But, stick around because number 10, you might have number 10. I think you might have number 10.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not in the grade that the number 10 is listed at, but you probably have number 10. All right. This one you don't have. I want to see proof of life. We got Sparkler Comics number 1 by United Features in 1941. You got to hand it to the publishers of Sparkler Comics. They found a creative way back in 1941 to capture the interest of young readers for the exciting origin story found in issue 1 of this series. They introduced Sparkman on the splash page, where we see him crash through the comic book editor's window, handing him a piece of paper that reads, "To Sparkler Comics, you have permission to print the picture story of my adventures in your magazine exclusively each and every month, the Sparkman." In the following page, we find Sparkman telling the reader that he might be someone you know. And that's how he uses the power of electricity impulses or sparks to fight against the injustices of crime. Well, there are 120 issues in the Sparkler Comics second series. Only 12 of them feature this somewhat short-lived superhero, Sparkman, who can be defeated by a ground wire. This unbelievably limited print run series is tough to find in the wild, with the issues featuring Sparkman the rarest to come across. The last recorded graded copy of issue number 1 was in 2021 when a CGC 2.0 sold for $120. Previous to that, a CGC 3 sold for $300 in 2020. After many years, we finally saw a third graded copy come up through the sale, and wow, boy, did the sparks fly. The surge, it was interesting and electrifying. Fuses were blown. When the power finally returned, only one buyer was left standing, willing to pay $3,360 for a CGC 9.0.
Okay.
1941 CGC 9. One of the 2 copies in the highest grade on the census. Will we see the other copy come up for sale? The suspense is electric. If it does, we will be sure to illuminate the sale right here on CovrPrice, where we will all be shocked.
I see what you did there.
No, I didn't do none of that. That was all the writer, except for the very end.
That was all you, man. That was all you.
You know what's funny is the symbol on his chest.
Yeah.
What does it say?
No, the symbol it's transistors in parallel. Which
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
This shouldn't have the effect that that's not how it works.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Probably no wonder one of the reasons why this comic didn't last very long. And, this probably would have lasted long if you named him the Sparkler Man and then have, like, those matches he's carrying or whatever the hell he's carrying right there, sparkling out. And, he could be the Sparkler Man of Sparkler Comics, right?
Well, I mean, his cape is just stiff as a board due to static electricity. So,
What?
You know, the
But
chat.
nevertheless, $3,360. Some I guess collector was willing to pay top dollar for that bad boy. So kudos to him.
I gotta say, guys, I love the chat, man. The comments that are coming in regarding this is funny. But very impressive sale. I saw somebody in the chat saying they had this in their hand in a 5.0 last September. There you go. Derek Magnus, what's up, Derek? Man, I appreciate Derek. But yeah, man, I've never seen this at all anywhere. I don't recall ever coming across it at a con or anything. So, seeing that there's only two CGC 9.0s. One selling. Will we see the other one? Like you said, we'll see. But very interesting, guys. Sparkler Comics #1, United Features 1941 had a top sale for a CGC 9.0, one of the only two that exists, for $3,360. Now, before we get to the final book, guys, I want to remind you, Marty's going to read us the next one. But after that, Chris is taking us over to the CovrPrice website to look at what's shaking today. And that's going to be fun times. So stick around. Marty, take us home, baby.
Dun, 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 dun. Last shaker of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, is Star Wars #80. This is the direct edition published by Marvel in 1984. Marvel Comics have a long history with Star Wars comic books. Originally, Marvel started off with adapting their already filmed movies. After that, Marvel started to create original stories using Star Wars IP. These comics would go on to inspire decades of newly expanded stories. When Disney brought Star Wars from Mr. George Lucas, they ejected what was considered an expanded lore canon. This issue is one of those stories in which a new character, a unique droid named Ellie Lay 914, is introduced. Ellie is a droid with an unusual degree of personality and emotions. This issue explores the theme of the companionship and sacrifices, making it one of the more emotional standalone stories of the Marvel Star Wars series. This cover also features a very menacing Darth Vader, which is always popular. The CGC census indicated that 246 books have been graded, and 43 of them have received a 9.8. Recently, a 9.8 sold for $783. And wow, man, let me tell you, man, this is one of the beautiful covers of some of the early Marvel series, man, because if you look at a lot of these other Star Wars covers, man, you have some really cheesy ones out there, but this one is really done. And plus, just like the read says, you got Darth Vader on it, right?
Yep.
So the way that he's standing in front of the logo, it makes it look like he's got a spike on his helmet. And I can't not see it.
That's funny. Yeah, I see it.
Also, the Ellie has kind of got that Rogue from X-Men 97 pose thing going on. You know what I mean?
More than a rogue.
If you know what I mean.
So, yeah.
All I want to do is quote Bender, buy my shiny metal ass. I mean, that's...
Yep. You guys ever see those AI dolls that people buy to date? Because
yes, I've seen those.
Yeah,
hey man, hey, listen, I was watching this one series, man. Not to get on a tangent, but I was watching this one series where it do the mental health because I'm in that field, but it is this. And one of the videos I watched was a guy, he takes his mannequin girlfriend out to dinner and, breakfast and lunch out in public and everything like that. And, this is, he talks to the mannequins. And this is an absolute disorder, man, so.
Yeah.
Was it on TLC?
It was probably one of those Discovery channels or whatever, man.
My wife likes those TLC shows. I call it the Terrible Life Choices channel.
Yes, absolutely.
Terrible.
Dude, whenever my wife turns on TLC, I literally give her the eye. She knows I think it's for deranged.
Well,
Yeah, Lando,
yeah.
you and I also watch pro wrestling. So
Yeah,
we know
that's fair.
okay?
That's fair. That's fair. But guys, I want to give a quick shout out. Matthew White's in the house, man. Matthew is a phenomenal artist. If you guys are not familiar, definitely go check out his Instagram. Matthew, I actually picked up your 1 in 25 for Avengers AI #1, and I found it yesterday for $4. So I was very happy about that. But guys, as we said, I know it's hard to look past a certain area on this cover, but Star Wars 80 Direct Edition by Marvel in 1984 had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $783. Now, guys, buckle up because Chris is about to take us through what's shaking on the website. But before we get to that,
shake it now, feel the beat, move it, shake it loud, on repeat, yeah, party started, never stop, shake it like nobody's watching, rock the top, shake it on the floor, it's the shakery pole, feel the vibe and let it transport, shake till you drop, hands in the air, the shakery pole, party everywhere.
yep, that's a thing, guys. I apologize, but Chris, take us through this.
It was either that or me singing the Shake Shake Sonora song every time we did this. So I guess I was voted against. But
I just piled more AI into it. More AI. Maybe every week I'll just add a little bit more AI and it'll become even worse.
I love it.
All right, so here we got CovrPrice.com. That's CovrPrice, COVR, no E's here except for at the end. And this is what I use to track my entire collection. But one of my favorite features is the Daily Shakers list. And this captures the highest daily aftermarket sales from eBay and heritage auctions and a bunch of other sites. So click on that. You can see these are all recent sales. Look at this. The CGC 10.0 of this M&M spotlight right here.
Yep.
$10,000.
What?
bam.
$10,000.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
For CGC 10.
Wow. That is huge. And look
Checking my list right now.
guys, look at all these massive.
That's so crazy,
books.
man.
Woo!
Yeah. Anybody who says that the comic industry is dying, they're not paying attention. That's the bottom line. Okay. Look at, I mean, if you got a 2022 book, even if it's limited to 1,000 selling for 10 grand, I mean, come on.
I don't believe that. That is amazing.
Check this out. You got the first Iron Man here at a CGC 2 selling for almost $5 grand, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody called Shield Wizard. What is this?
I have no idea. I've never.
What in the swastika is this?
Yep.
Crazy, man. That's some
weird.
time travel shite right there, man.
It's got a weird Captain America Bucky feel to it.
Doesn't it?
It does. And like the Nazi captain, I guess, or I don't know. He
What
has
year was that? What year was that again?
42.
42. Yep. Remember World War II around that time, and patriotic, everything like that.
All-Star Comics from 1947. Big stuff here. Okay, here's a good one here. Look at this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, limited to 1,000. It's good stuff.
That Frankenstein cover was very.
This one right here?
Eerie.
Yeah, kind of weird, man. Kind of weird.
Yeah. Is that a third eye or a nose?
Yeah. So this is something that we always go through. This is updated multiple times a day. Some pretty cool stuff, but I'm going to go back up to the top, and we are going to look at filtering this by only the high time sales.
Yes.
That's all I want to see of the high time
Me
sales.
too.
So these are the top sales. This means that that this is the highest recorded sale that CovrPrice has found.
Yeah.
And check this out. We got this Teenage Mutant Turtles one, limited to 1,000, which sold for $880 as a raw.
Wow.
Right. Of course, we're going to have Invincibles on here. This one number 10, which has sold at a 9.8, sold for almost $500. We got this awesome Creighton Klein Scorpion
Beautiful.
Comics retailer exclusive, limited 600
Love his
copies.
work, man.
Yeah.
Here's something you don't see every day. You have a copy of Deathmate selling for $300. It's a CGC 10, but still. And let's see what else.
Carla Cohen, really beautiful.
Yeah, good stuff right here.
Yo, we have another big sale for that last boy. The one you guys were talking about on Tuesday, right next to Absolute Batman.
Mm.
Oh yeah. The Adam Hughes breast cover.
Wow.
Yeah.
The bugs are coming after me. Yeah. Albert and Pogo. I've got a couple Pogo books. I don't think I have this one though. But yeah, this one sold in the CGC 7 for $170. People are buying books, man. People are buying books. No doubt about it.
Sure.
I love this because we see, books that are very common when you open it up, but then after when you start filtering in fun ways like this with the all-time high sales, it's such impressive sales. Cool books that make the list. I love it.
Yeah. Here we have this is pretty cool. This is a unique sale because there are a lot of these Star Wars action figure covers, right?
Yep.
This one with K2SO, it's not even a key. It's not even the first appearance of the character. I have the regular one. I don't have the action figure version, which recently sold for $150 for the 9.8.
Wow. Yeah, because I have that series as well, but I was never big into the action figure series.
Yeah, Shogun Warriors.
I have that one.
Dude, there's like 3 Shogun books right there.
Yeah. That you know what? Maybe there's something going on with that IP.
Yeah, dude, look at that Optimus right there. Transformers.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got this one, not in the 9.8, but I do have it. I think my cover is kind of jacked up, but this was a cardstock cover that was also a like a cutout, like a die cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised this isn't showing up. Do I have the newsstand edition? No, I don't. You know what? It's probably on my eBay store, which I don't track inside my CovrPrice.
Yep.
Love that cover right there.
Of X-Force?
The bloody variant cover.
Yeah.
Of X-Force, yeah.
Here's Mark Spears.
Love that.
Vampirilla, number 1, just recently came out. It's already sold for $100 in 9.8. So that's always fun. Let's go back up to the top and make one more filter change. Get rid of the all-time. Let's look at only variants. You're going to see a lot of like...
Okay, guys, we need to talk about this Wonder Woman book. This book, scarce as hell. Just so you guys are aware. Yeah, look, this is the 1 in 25 steampunk.
Yeah.
The sale, look how monstrous for a CGC 9.6. I have this on my list for my show on Sunday because it is just a book that is nearly impossible to come across, and that is, as you could see, why it's selling for such a premium.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then you have like newsstand editions, like this newsstand version of Uncanny X-Men number 134 in a 9.8 for $800. That's pretty amazing. This is when Jean Grey becomes a Dark Phoenix, and the direct edition is only sells for about $50.
Yeah.
And this is 1980 when the newsprint, the newsstand editions were about 50-50. So it's not like it's not like this should have a premium. If this was the Mark Jewelers variant for $800, I would understand that. But I guess it's just because it's a 9.8. Let's look on the direct edition real fast and check to see what the last 9.8 sold for. I'm very curious about this. We'll go down here to slabbed comic sales. Okay, so 9.8 sold for $670. That's still half the price of what that newsstand recently sold for. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah. Yeah, I got this one right here, not a newsstand, but I have it in direct.
I'm
So
curious to see the Simpsons one. It's a barcode. This is another one that I was talking about. I think that's issue 3.
yeah.
Mm.
Here we have the Adam Hughes Pop Kill cover, limited 270, already carrying a premium.
Yeah, for those of you who
Jeez.
are not aware, though, that Pop Kill cover, you only could have gotten it via the Kickstarter. So that cover, that's why you see that. You see that little boy and the dog.
Mhm.
They're experiencing their first wet T-shirt ever. But the read is actually good. It's available now. So this is years after the fact that it launched on Kickstarter, but you can pick those up now. It's a good read.
Of course, you have Dawn, right? Second print. Caption says, "Does sex sell? So far, so good."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. The Whatnot Adam Eve color reprint, limited to 1,500, selling for $200 in a 9.8. Here's one right here, GI Joe #1. See, this is what I'm talking about. If I'm going to spend a couple $100 on a comic, I'm going to look for this. I'm going to look for these old GI Joes. I've got almost a full run of the original GI Joe series from 1982.
Hell yeah.
I do have a graded direct edition. I do not have the newsstand.
Wicked.
Yeah. Going a little bit further, of course, we have Absolute Batman up here.
I like that. I really like that cover right there. The Absolute Batman cover.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
No,
here's one that a lot of people have. A lot of people have this.
No, he was talking the Absolute Batman.
Yeah, this right here.
Yeah,
that's gorgeous. Yeah,
it's sick.
There
was another Pop Kill book I saw.
Yeah, here's that Whatnot trading pack Doom one right here. It's a good it's a good pickup. Another Pop Kill, you said? Looking for it.
Go up right there to the far right.
There we go. Hey, there's Bird City Comics.
Booyah.
Lady Laura.
They're killing it.
That's right.
Shout out.
Oh, Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell is that, man? Come on, dude.
Yeah.
That's not Frank Miller. That's Fink Miller.
Have you guys ever seen Heavy Metal?
I'm just gonna say a prayer for him, man, because there's got to be something going on with him for him to create something like that, man. Come on, Frank Miller's so much better than that dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna find a censored version, but Frank Miller, man, if you go back, I was talking about this book on my show, the Frank Miller Heavy Metal, dude. It is just so good. That's like peak Frank Miller. Gives me Sin City vibes. I don't know if you guys have seen it. But here, I'll show you guys very quickly. Here, look, check this out. This is the Miller that I prefer to remember, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Negative Space Miller. I also like the early Wolverines. Those were iconic.
Yeah.
Another thing that I like to do, and I haven't done this in a while, let's look at items in my collection that have made the shaker list. This is pretty cool also. And you can see the stuff that you have that is on the shaker list, which is one of my favorite. This is the Frank Miller that I like right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's a big difference between this and the other one.
Yeah. Hey, look, you guys, everyone's saying it in the chat, and it's facts. He's gotten up there in age.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of respect to the man. No disrespect to the man.
No disrespect.
I kind of wonder if the publishers that he's working with are kind of taking advantage of him right now. I mean, similar to what we saw with Stan Lee in his final days.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, but anyways, that was fun. We went through some of the daily shakers over on the website. Now, of course, if you're a subscriber to the website, you have access to all that fun stuff. But we hope you guys enjoyed the list. Best chat in the game, man. I loved it. You guys brought the fire. So many jokes. You made it fun, like you do every week. And so do these guys. So before we say goodbye, let's go around the horn. Chris.
Hey, let's see. We got down here in the DC area, we got Awesome Con coming up on April 4th, and that should be pretty good. John and Matt, if you guys are watching, I would really like to see a convention report for Awesome Con, if you guys could put that together, because I always miss the cool stuff there because it's such a big con. And I mean, I've got some things in the past, but yeah, that's one of the things that CovrPrice will do for you, by the way. They do these convention reports to tell you what to look for, and hopefully maybe they'll put the DC Awesome Con on there.
Yeah, would be awesome, man. Hopefully, yeah. But before we say goodbye, of course, there's only one guy who signs us off the best, and it's Marty.
Guys, as always, what an amazing time. Just be able to take a break from everything that's going on out there, right? And work and life and whatever. And me and Leia, we always enjoy coming and doing our shows with you guys, right?
Leia, puppy.
Come on. She if you guys don't know, Princess Leia right here is the snorer on the bingo card. So this is the one right there. And you know, she's my little angel right there. My little princess, right? That's why I named her Leia. So you guys, thank you for joining us as always. We hope you guys enjoyed the show as always. If you did not catch us live, catch us on the rewind. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you will. Thank you guys out in the chat. You guys, thank you for interacting with us and leaving your comments and everything like that. So enjoy yourselves. May the comic gods and the spirit of our friend TiVo continue to bless your long boxes. Excelsior.
Excelsior. Guys, we'll see you next Tuesday. Until then, have a great week and adios.
For the entire crew, this is T-Bo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.